Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. Is Ryan Garcia going too far?
I'm not going to speak on a situation I'm not fully educated about. Why would I talk about George Floyd or Kanye West or Candace Owens or however she want to frame it if I don't have I'm not educated on the matter. I don't know if he really did die by the knee or he didn't. And I'm not going to sit here and claim a certain thing that I have no clue about. So nobody's going to try to twist the narrative like I'm anti-black. I'm Ryan Garcia, and I love God, and that's it. And I'm not going to speak on a situation I'm not fully educated about. Why would I talk about George Floyd or Kanye West or Candace Owens or however she want to frame it if I don't have I'm not educated on the matter. I don't know if he really did die by the knee or he didn't. And I'm not going to sit here and claim a certain thing that I have no clue about. So nobody's going to try to twist the narrative like I'm anti-black. I'm Ryan Garcia, and I love God, and that's it.
First, let me say this, right? And no, I'm not going to get into the whole George Floyd thing. Everybody's entitled to say what they want, to think how they want, to have an opinion. And you can do whatever you want when it comes to you and your life. Anything. If you want to go out here and kill somebody, you can, right? But for everything that we do, there are consequences. Could be good, could be bad. And with Ryan Garcia, I have to ask the question, from him talking about kids, him talking about, I joke about the secret society. Now, when I talk about the secret society, I'm talking about the corruption in boxing. I'm not talking about people getting raped, forced to wear dresses, men being forced to engage in homosexual relations and have it videotaped and that's used to blackmail them. I'm not talking about that. I'm making a joke about you got people who want certain outcomes in boxing and they have the muscle and influence to make it happen. The secret society. But Ryan Garcia and the stuff he's talking about and the stuff that he said he's experienced, that's more on the line of, in my opinion, some secret society shit, if it's true. But my thing is, where is all of this coming from? Ryan Garcia wasn't the individual he is today. That's not the guy who was there 2 months ago. He just started, and I'm going to say this, to me, taking it to the stupid, when this Devin Haney fight was made. I don't know what happened between the time he signed that fight and maybe the press conference. But Ryan Garcia just started to act a bit erratic. He just started to ramble on and start to talk about things, and you can see that his mind is just firing, and it's just random shit coming out. Some of it doesn't even tie together. He's just like, you remember when Mike Tyson did that post-fight interview, and he was like, yeah, Lennox, I'm coming for you. Yeah, I want to eat your kids. Praise due to Allah. And that's what Ryan Garcia is doing. The mind is just firing. There's like all kind of shit going on inside Ryan Garcia's mind. Just like in that interview with Mike Tyson. You could see he was like, I don't know, man. Just buried my best friend, Daryl Barnes. Assalamu alaikum, Ida. Yeah, Lennox, I'm coming for you. What, man? It's like, yo. Mike Tyson was all over the place. Ryan Garcia is the same thing. So I don't know how he ended up allowing himself to get caught up in all these different topics of discussion. Like no one's been able to reel him in and tell him, my man, learn to listen a whole lot and talk very little, because the shit you're saying right now isn't good. It's bringing the wrong kind of attention on you. Now, some people say, he's just promoting the fight. I thought that too. I don't think this is brilliant shit he's doing here. I think something's wrong with him. This thing about George Floyd, right? I don't talk about that. But I think it's safe to say, if you watch that video, that George Floyd would probably be around if that stupid cop didn't put his knee on his neck. But my thing is, Ryan Garcia, he should know better than to allow anyone to bait him into a conversation to where he's talking about these things. But listen to what. Let me show you what happens here.
And I'm not going to speak on a situation I'm not fully educated about.
Okay. He says he's not going to speak on a situation he's not fully educated about. That should have been it. After that, mum's the word. I've been in situations. I remember there was this guy. He owned this large boat. He used to take people out on chartered fishing trips. His wife was from Trinidad. I met them while I was out. My dad met them. He was fishing. And, they saw my dad and, 2 and 2 and something, right? So anyway, when I came back, I was on a business trip. When I came back, my dad was like, hey, met this guy and his wife from Trinidad. Let's go out there and check him out. I said, cool. So we went out there, and this guy who was American, he was trying to talk to me about certain things that were happening as far as corruption in Trinidad. I immediately recognized that, one, he didn't know what the hell he was talking about because he was drunk as a skunk. His whole thing was drinking rum and trying to wind up his waist and shit. So he looked stupid. And his wife was embarrassed. If his wife was attractive, I probably would have tackled her. You know what I'm saying? But I'm a respectful guy, and she wasn't that attractive. But if she would have been all right, I probably would put some wood on that, right? But anyway, he was asking me a bunch of stuff. And I just told him, look, I don't know anything about it, so I have no comment. And he kept trying to get me to talk. I didn't even respond to him. He would ask me, and I would just go to talk about something different. I just dead him, blanked his ass. You know what I'm saying? And he eventually caught the hint, and he shut up, and we talked about something else. So for Ryan Garcia, the first thing he says here,
I'm not going to speak on a situation I'm not fully educated about.
Hey, just like me, I don't know. I'm not fully educated about it. I'm not going to talk. I should shut up. But Ryan Garcia didn't shut up.
Why would I talk about George Floyd or Kanye West or Candace Owens or however she want to frame it if I don't have I'm not educated on the matter?
You see, he already said what he had to say, but now he's still going on. I don't know who's sitting there with Ryan Garcia, but someone should be like pulling on his arm like, yo, stop, shut up. Or just click off of it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I think there's something wrong with him, because how many times have you seen Ryan Garcia? Maybe he gets into these chat rooms quite often. I just don't pay attention, right? But maybe because he has a fight coming up and everybody knows that Ryan Garcia is liable to say anything. Ryan, I'm going to save this for another video, what I was about to say. But Ryan Garcia, people are now using him and his unstable state, which is what I think, to get views and stir up controversy. But this stuff about Kanye West, George Floyd, Candace Owens, why is he talking about that? He should have left it alone.
I don't know if he really did die by the knee or he...
Now, he obviously doesn't remember what happened to Paulie Malignaggi when Paulie Malignaggi came out and was talking about George Floyd. Paulie Malignaggi ended up losing his job because he didn't want to come and apologize. Because that's such a sensitive topic. Not just with black people, that's a sensitive topic with a lot of people who are against the injustices done to people by the police. Okay, but that shit was like right in your face. Absolutely crazy. Didn't have to be handled like that.
He didn't. And I'm not going to sit here and claim a certain thing that I have no clue about. So nobody's going to try to twist the narrative like I'm anti-black.
All right. he said that because at least he's smart enough to know that could be the fallout as a result of what he said. That people are going to say that, you know, and it's not that, I say out of 100 people who say that, maybe 20% of them believe that he's anti-black or racist. The other 80 are just saying that just because they're bandwagonists and whatever a person says, they're going to repeat.
I'm Ryan Garcia, and I love God.
Okay, this thing about God. Hey, you know what, man? If you love God, shout it out. 1 or 2 times. But Lord have mercy. Every goddamn 5 seconds, they're like, God, 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 Jesus, God, God, Jesus, Jesus, God, God, Jesus, Jesus, God, God. Yo! Hold your horses and stop taking it to the stupid. You don't have to advertise and announce that shit to the world every 5 seconds. Man, talk about goddamn boxing. Hey, look. I don't care if you believe in God, if you're an atheist. I don't care what you do. That's your business. But I don't want to keep hearing that shit. Because now you're drawing that attention to yourself and people aren't taking you serious. It's like I had a buddy out here, right? We sitting here talking. And this man talking about how much women he have and he got this, that, and this and shit. So I'm like, all right, my man, you're a playboy and shit. You know what I'm saying? You're a prickman. No problem. You out here, you tackling the ladies. Good. Yeah. Now, we're not paying him any attention. But he talks about it so much. But he's always by himself, right? Well, this is back in the day. So we started laughing and shit. And I was like, man, you got no goddamn women. You talk too much about it. You always sitting around here doing nothing. So anyway, he wanted to play the number game and shit. Okay, well, let's go see. Let's see who get the most women. Let's go to the mall. And we'll see. I bet you I get more numbers than you. I bet you. I said, okay. You sure you want to play that game? Anyway, went to the mall. Made the fool look stupid. I got like 100 and something numbers and shit. This motherfucker got like 3. Now, out of them 100 something I got. Now, this is real shit I'm telling you. We were in the mall for about 3 hours. But the thing was putting in work. So every female that walked by that I thought was worth my time, I stepped to her. And, you know, they got a lot of numbers. Now, out of that batch, like 30 of them shits were wrong. Because I was calling them. 30 of them shits were wrong. Another like 40 or so, I really ain't like talking to them. The other like 60 or so numbers, man, conversation was all right. But about out of 30, you know what I'm saying, we were able to seal the deal. And when you push your numbers like that, you know, in a month, you know, you as a young man, you know, you're pretty good, and guys are gonna hate on you. But you gotta put the fucking work in, because, you know, if a female is gonna talk to you, she's gonna talk to you. She's not gonna talk to you, she's not. What do you care if she rejects you? You move on to the next. But anyway, it ties in what Ryan Garcia is saying. My man, if you really are about that, you don't need to let the world know, because maybe it's not so true. Now, this thing about Ryan Garcia with drugs and everything, I'm going to tell you from my experience dealing with people, right? And all the volunteer efforts that I put forth for 24 plus years, being it from organizing go-kart races, box cart races, huge events on the base for kids, working with the homeless, working with people who are recovering drug addicts. Let me tell you something. Watching Ryan Garcia, I'll just say I'm concerned about him. That's all I'll say, because something isn't right. So is he going too far? I think he's starting to get a little crazy. But you know what? Maybe this is all part of his strategy. I don't know. He's out there. They're talking about him. You know, but is this the kind of promotion you want when your ticket sales are struggling? You know what I'm saying? Is this the kind of promotion you want when your ticket sales are suffering? I don't think this is the kind of shit that's going to make somebody say, boy, I need to come out there and see Ryan Garcia fight. I need to come out here and see Devin Haney fight. This is the kind of stuff to make you say, man, fuck them. Or fuck him. You know what I'm saying? It make you want to get away from that. But anyway, I hope everything is okay with Ryan Garcia. I hope he and Devin Haney sell out the Barclays. I hope them two young guys, man, make 20, 30 million. Because when I was a young guy, I played sports, right? But I didn't. My parents didn't. It just wasn't possible to take me to school and take me to places in the summer so I could practice. It just, those possibilities weren't there. So we were just street kids, man, out playing and messing around. But I had an opportunity to start boxing. I think I was like 15 years old. And we used to mess around, but I was in a gym lifting weights. And we used to play basketball at this gym. When I went up there, I saw a friend of mine I grew up with who was training. And he was hitting mitts. And I was like, oh, shit, he's boxing. And I remember I was like, damn, I want to do that. And I didn't have the opportunity to get back to that gym. But when I had an opportunity, I started training. But it was after that. But anyway, once I started training, I realized that, I was pretty good at it. Just natural, you know what I'm saying? So when I watch these guys, like Ryan and Devin, and all these boxers who started boxing at 6 or 7, that's why I'm the way I am with my kids. Because in a sense, it's like, I wish I would have had the opportunity to start young, because who knows what direction things could have gone, but I just liked it. And if you've never sparred before, if you've never boxed, you wouldn't understand. There's something, you may say, I don't ever want to get hit, but it's something about getting punched in your fucking face. It's not that you want that, but it's something about that adrenaline flow and fighting. And someone hits you and you're like, all right, then you get them back, or you make them miss and you counter. You know what I'm saying? It's something about the ebb and flow of a sparring match that just, I got hooked on that shit. And when I watch these guys, in a way, it's like, I'm rooting for them, because they're like, man, I wish that was me in a sense. You know what I mean? I would have started young and got to that point. But everybody's circumstances are different. That just wasn't an option. But for my sons, they play so many sports. But this year, because my youngest now, he'll be 7. This year, all 4 of my sons are going to be going, because they picked sports already: soccer, basketball, and then it's going to be boxing. And I'm going to push them. And you may see me put some videos up here when they start doing their matches, but they're going to train and they're going to start fighting. And, I don't have any expectation for them except to be able to put them beans on somebody, because my sons are handsome, man. Very, very attractive guys, man. And my oldest already getting a little bit of hate, you know what I mean? Same shit I went through. But it's like, when the time comes, you make an example out of one of them. You always be nice, treat people with respect, do things with love. But, anybody ever think that they want to put their hands on you and harm you, you make sure that you make an example out of them. And don't worry, you ain't going to get in trouble here. You get expelled from school, you just do. We'll put you in a charter school or private school. Fuck them. No one's allowed to touch you. So when I watch Ryan Garcia and those guys, man, I'm rooting for them. And I just hope they can get it together. That being said, shout out to the veterans, all 7 continents. I think Ryan Garcia needs a little bit of help at this point, but hey, that's just my opinion. I'm in the breeze.